Hey fellas, this is Harsha and welcome back to another TOS videos, and today I'm going to cover the new September update for the Korean Tree of Savior. Now there are a lot of stuff for the September update and I will only cover the most important one that is really impacting the game. I also want to shout out to Karaliene for the English translation, which is really nice by the way, to help out all the players to catch up with the Korean update. As always, if you're interested in checking out the full patch note, I recommend checking out Karaliene's KTEST translation in the video description below. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first one is Harsha. This is actually the new Irredian shuttle boss that will be added to the game. The TOS development team also made several adjustments to the Irredian shuttle boss, which include permanent entry portals. This is actually pretty nice by the way, because back in the day you have to kill a certain amount of monster in order to open the portals for a short period of time. So with this change, you don't have to kill any monster at all. The development team also give us the battle difficulty setting option for some of these bosses, which adjust the boss attack, HP, and mechanics. Basically, this is actually a really good option to help out all the new players to learn the overall raid content, like the new MMORPG solo legend raid version. This option also applies to Harsha as well. Before fighting Harsha, the mechanic of the boss can be removed through the option selected before the battle begins, and the HP and attack of the boss will also lower based on the number of options you selected. Alright, for the next part, we have the new accessory and accessory status of par. This is quite important by the way, because IMC is decided to add the incomplete versions, the Karaliene accessory. Now, for the players right now who have the Dragonos version and more important accessory, they cannot advance even further or progress further without the Archstone. So with this, IMC decided to add the incomplete version to help them out to progress even further. So let me go ahead and break it down real quick. Now, in order to craft the incomplete Karaliene necklace, you need the Morimponia necklace and Dragonos or Karnes necklace. By the way, this is actually pretty nice. And then you need one Violent Crystal. So instead of having two Violent Crystal, you can only use one and you can craft the incomplete version. You also need Harsha material as well. For the complete version, you need incomplete Karaliene necklace as well as the one extra Archstone to craft the Violent Crystal and then the extra Harsha materials. So that is really good. And then for the bracelets, the bracelets require one Violent Crystal shard. Now for the Violent Crystal shard, you need 5 Archstone fragment. This might change based on the market price by the way, because right now we don't know how the Archstone fragment is going to sell based on the supply and demand once this thing came out. And for the complete version, you need another Violent Crystal shard. So basically, everything is cut in half. But instead, because you don't have to go full builds Archstones for the Karaliene bracelet version, you can go ahead and just do the incomplete version and then go for the full version. So technically, if you have Archstone, you might as well just go for the full version. And then you have the fragments, you can go for the incomplete version. Alright, next one, here's a good thing about this. In order to elevate the control and be able to wear accessory without having full set effect, the set bonus will be divided and applied as the effects of each bar accessory with the effects potential based on its necklace or bracelets. With all the accessory one, the original effects is restored. This is the same case for the Karaliene set accessory. So this is really good. So basically, you're getting that set effect based on the number of equipment that you equipped on your characters. So you don't have to worry about, hey, I need my full set in order to use full set effect, but it's this, you don't have to worry about that. You can just go ahead and equip certain part of set effect and you can get set effect. So that's really good. Alright folks, next we have Luciferi Accessory. This accessory is actually the upgraded version of Karaliene set effects and it requires Luciferium in order to craft it. In order to get Luciferium, you need 25 dark iron, which can be purchased from the Alchemist Master for 1 million each. So basically this is 25 million silver right here, and along with 25 million silver in order to craft this, as well as 10 magic stones, 11 mod tart powders, and then 10 extra goddess blessed ships. So that is a lot of silver sink right here. In order to craft the necklace, you need at least plus 10 transcendent Karaliene's necklace, and for the bracelets, same thing. And for the necklace, you need 2 Luciferium in order to craft it, along with the Harsha materials. And for the necklace, you only need 1. Alright, so next we have the accessory status overhaul. This is good by the way, because a lot of players right now who doesn't even bother to upgrade the accessory to get that extra defense, IMC decided to convert those magic defense into physical or magic attack. So this is freaking good. So basically, if you're a DPS, you're getting more damage out of these. And they also apply the same thing for the shield as well, but instead they are adding magic defense on the shield. So right now you don't have to worry about getting that cloud armor to deal with Morimponia. You can go ahead and use the shield. If you're a healer, you can go ahead and use the shields and get that extra magic defense, which is really nice by the way, because right now if you have a lot of magic defense and physical defense, you're gonna have more. Alright, Onto the Vaivora equipment. This is good, by the way, because right now IMC decided to add 9 more upcoming Vaivora equipments. One of them is the Vaivoras Stats for Psycho Kino. Psycho Kino exclusive Vaivora weapon has a high amount of Psycho Kino magic damage increase, as well as the special effect. It is designed to greatly increase the damage and utility for the Gravity Pulse skill. This is particularly useful to crowd control effect against multiple monsters in the split singularity challenge modes content, allowing it to play to key role of high difficulty contents. This is so good, by the way. Look at that. If you see the chip right now, it does so much damage. There's so many lines right now. Look at that. The monster is getting melted really fast. Alright, next we have the quarter shooter Vaivora crossbow. What it does is actually does a huge amount of damage in a both stronger LE. If you look at the GIF right now, just that single skill just wire up the whole mob. That is really good. Now this is a new exclusive skill cluster shard. It deals damage in the wire in front after 1 second of casting time. So if you're a quarter shooter, you need to get this. This is freaking good. Next, we have the viral pipe for Cutterfrag. Now, Cutterfrag acts as a pillar among swordsmen for riding classes with its high mobility and damage increasing buff. However, due to its own lack of damage, it has to rely on other classes for skill damage. This is quite true, by the way, because majority of players who use Cutterfrag have to use dragons and then lancer in order to do a lot of damage. And then the new Vaivora pipe double the straight range for general skill called Rush. That is really nice, by the way. When it generally is finished, additional double swings can be used to inflict higher damage. If you use alongside with Rush Pull, one of the Cutterfrag's arts, you will see enemy being pulled while being channels. Look at that. Look at the channels right here. Enemy being pulled and it just literally just swing down to hit. I'm gonna cover this damage in a bit. You will see how much this thing gonna do. Next, we have the Vaivora mace for Plague Doctor. Finally we have the DPS role for Plague Doctor. The Plague Doctor pandemic skill is the most important use in spreader debuffs, including Black Death streams and incineration to a large number of enemies. However, due to its needing to use alongside with other skill and lack of range, it was difficult to use effectively, which is quite true, by the way, because right now the pandemic ring is really small and you had to cast Black Death stream and incineration at the same time, and then to use the pandemic to kind of spread the damage debuff. With the new Vaivora 2 and mace, the range of pandemic will be expanded. The usability of the skill will greatly improve. Oh my god. Look at those ranges, freaking huge. This is like the old version of Plague Doctor, by the way. And it also casts incineration and Black Death stream at the same time when you're using the pandemic. That's freaking good. For number 4, we have the boss co-op. The field boss rate has been removed from the games, and the new content known as the boss co-ops has been added to replace them. This battle is held at a specific time that allows players to enter a 5-person party and battle a boss monster. When you enter a boss co-op battle, you will battle a certain period of time, and all the damage that you inflict along with the party will be added together to determine the ranking across the entire server. Now, when the boss co-op is over, the Goddess Grey event will appear just like the existing field boss raid. This is really good, by the way, because right now nobody is doing scale clips of Moriponia in order to spawn the Goddess Grey. So with this is gonna be much better. When the Goddess Grey event ends, each reward can be distributed to the top 10 ranked parties. That's mean more cube for each server, and the total silver will be distributed to the top 20 parties according to their rank. The amount of silver will be distributed to each party is less than before, but more players will have chance to receive the silver. This is really good. Now, keep in mind, 20 parties, that is equivalent to 100 players. So 100 players will have a same chance of getting silvers. It doesn't matter whether it's low or big, but this is just good. You are going to find another way to fund your character with this new content. Also, we are getting 2 new master cards, by the way. One of them is Blossom Bladers. It gives 100 crit chance for level 10. So this is a 300 crit chance in totals with having this card. Any classes that have immunity to knockback, you definitely want to use this card. This is going to be better than Monarchs. Next, we have the Shelly Pennington cards. This one is really good, by the way, for PvP and GTWs because it gives critical resistance. This is going to be a 300 critical resistance alone for having this card. For part 5, we have the world map improvement. Now, before we go any further, if you have not watched the world map reward from 3 of Savior official YouTube channels, I highly recommend checking it out. The link to the video will be available in the video description below. So basically, they are making change to the maximum number of favorites from 5 to 8. That's really nice. Each favorite can be used immediately from the shortcut from F1 to F10, and then nope to the warp map. Now, the warp map can only be used by the goddess statue Karaliene, the carved divinity statue, and the warp scroll. You can only warp to the region region if there is a goddess statue in the region and if it is activated. This applies even the area has a warp scroll used on as well. Oh, they're also checking the display images to the warp area, so this way you can see which specific area that you already warped to. That is really nice. Some auto overhaul the user token warp function when the gear territory spots has been disabled. That is really good, by the way, because a lot of people have been using this. You can see the mini maps of the region immediately when you search for it and on your favorite, and you can go to them directly to the warp maps to go there. In the episode maps or the warp maps, it show all maps is no longer checked by default, so only map that with the goddess statue will be shown. Next, we have skill balances. There are several classes on the list, such as Spencer, Metator, Psychomancer, Assassin, Ragnar, and Rough. And unfortunately, I don't see any shadows, so we have to wait until later on. Anyway, starting off with the Fencer and Metator, let me go ahead and brief this class real quick. These are the only two classes that actually use rapier and dagger competitions. So with that, right now, not a lot of Metator actually use the dagger or even Fencer, so they are all focusing on the shield instead. And with that, IMC decided to allow them to block with daggers and increase their damage after successful block. That is really good. This is a huge buff, by the way. So for all the Fencer Metator out there, you can start celebrating. This is really good. Also, this concept is the same as the Retiarius, who use the one-handed spears as well as the daggers. Also, another thing is that Rapier class has a buff that causes them to do high damage to enemy in front of them or wherever they get their arrows. So right now, if you have a two Metator and Fencer in the party, that's caused a lot of trouble. So they plan to change the condition to be more intuitive. Next, we have Psychomancer. Psychomancer and some other wizard classes right now are gradually showing the acceptable amount of power thanks to the new equipment item. Thank you, Vaivora. But Psychomancer in particular will still need power of its skills to be improved, so in order to achieve this, they plan to adjust the skill factor as well as the effect of the skills. In addition, because the shield has updated that also provide magic defense, the shield mastery Psychomancer attribute will also be balanced and adjusted. And for the last three classes, Assassin, Ragnar, and Rough. Assassin has useful skill effect and synergy with other classes, so right now they want to delete the synergy element, allow them to buff the skill factor of their skills. We will limit it to critical attack bonuses of high set to the dagger only, and will remove the bonus damage it gains at the lower HP values. This will lower the class tree dependency to on assassin, and lost power can be distributed among other classes. That kind of understandable for assassin, by the way. In addition, we plan to remove hit interval reduction effects of piercing heart on bleed, in particular that has a great effect on Ragnar. Look at skills. That kind of sucks, to be honest. This will resolve the adjusting lookout to be more stronger. Well, we don't know how much they're going to reduce, we just have to see. For Ragnar, we have planned to reduce the difficulty of rough to fight enemy. We are considering making their damage output more stable and reliable by adding immediate escape in dangerous combat situation. That's really nice. On the next part, care about there's some data mining for the KTEST past August 28, and it looks pretty good, by the way, because we got the new goddess cubes, honor roses. These pieces kind of remind me of the medieval stuffs. That's actually look pretty good, by the way. And there's the wings. Look at those. And then onto the hair accessories. Onto the new weapon skin. The new weapon skin is actually caught my attention. That shield look like the Black Knight shields. That is freaking cool. And then we have the sword, the dagger. The sword actually probably my favorite, by the way. Look at that. It's like emerald jewel on the staff. That's even better. The main is kind of plain, to be honest. Look at that, the spike makes. And then we have the spear, the rapier as such. Also, we had the new item, Harsha legend card. That is really good. So this one actually increases damage against plant type monster. So you can expect that we are getting a plant type raid boss in the futures. And there are some of the stats for Vaivora, starting with the Runecasters, 148 intelligence, 490 crit rate, also giving 1 extra to our rune skill casters, so that is really good. And for the Runecaster skills, casting attribute maximum buff stack increased to 5. The Runecaster skill casting increased the damage dealt by 20% per stack, so that is 100% in totals. When Runecaster skill casting it at the 5 stack, casting a Rune of Rock will consume 3 stack and reset the cooldown for the Rune of Rock. That is really good. And then onto the Plat Doctor 2-hand maces. This is freaking amazing, by the way. Look at the status. That is allowed intelligence, crit rate, critical magic attack, incineration skill level also increased by 3. Pandemic skill rank increased by 60%. That is OP. This might be as good as Exorcist Vaivora. I don't know yet, but we'll just have to see when this thing came out. Increase the maximum damage of the pandemic range debuffs, the debuff damage by 50%, so basically it's 30% more per debuff. When pandemic is cast, affect enemy receive a current level of Black Death Stream and Incineration. That is good. You don't have to cast Black Death Stream or Incineration at the same time. Maybe you could cast it to reset the Black Death Stream's debuff durations. And other than that, this is way too good. When pandemic is cast, affect enemy monster will receive immobilization debuff for 4 seconds. It hit up to 20 target, by the way. Remove any Black Death Stream Incineration immobilize debuff if the weapon is equipped. So basically you cannot do the weapon swap. Otherwise it's not gonna work. Psycho Kino stats, 195 intelligence, 740 critical rates, as well as huge damage magic attack for Psycho Kinos. 2262, that is a lot. One extra skill for Psycho Kino as well. It provides knockback and immunities for while channeling the gravity pulse, deal damage every 0.5 seconds to the area around gravity pulse, or 50% of the gravity pulse current skill factors. If the enemy is monster, they are slightly pulled into the gravity pulse with each hit. I'm kind of wonder if we'd use this in PvP, how does that work? Because they said the monster is gonna get pulled, what about the players? Additionally, damage deals to the circle when the gravity pulse finish channel equal 1000% of gravity pulse current skill factor. That is huge. Maximum target 20. Any extra damage caused by this weapon are not considered to be channeling. Next we have Mastros Cannon. I gotta say this, Mastros right now is the most popular class on archers, especially with the Cannoneers classes. Strength 223, critical rate 740, that's really good. 3 extra skill for explosion. Here's the thing, fire 5 additional explosion shot when using explosion on the target, each shot dealing 30% of the current explosion skill factor. That is huge. Each additional explosion will only damage their primary target. Next we have Sheriffs. Oh man, Sheriff, this is actually for the pistols. This is huge. It also reduced the cooldowns of the West Ray by 25 seconds. One extra skill to Sheriff, 1350 physical critical attack, as well as 490 critical rate, and then 142 strength. There is so much buff with this Vaivora. It's so freaking amazing. It provides 3 buffs of stack of Sheriff reload every 5 seconds while it's equipped. When the buff is at the 10 stack, using West Ray will consume all the stack, resetting cooldown of Peacemaker and any shot. This is gonna be the best in slot for Sheriff in the future. Potato Rapiers, here we go. Alright, we got a 490 critical raise, 133 strengths, 1230 physical critical attack, as well as 1 extra skill for Potato. It reduced the cooldown of Ole by 10 seconds and also Capotes by 10 seconds. That is freaking good. It provides 1 stack of buff when using Ole or Capotes. It lasts for 5 seconds and a maximum of 3 stacks. When a boss monster or enemy catcher is used on an attack within 150 range while you are buff, inflict them with a debuff and remove 1 stack. The debuff will cause the continuous pure damage property every 1 second equal to 20% of skill factor or passive doppler. That is really good. The debuff will stack, causing additional hit per stack. Reduce the damage you would take from this debuff by 12% per stack. Reduce the movement speed by this debuff on enemies by 4% per stack. Excuse me, I do want to replace this part real quick. Reduce the damage you take from this debuff enemy by 12% per stack. This is huge. By the way, you're basically a tank DPS with Potato with this Vaivora. The debuff will last 10 seconds and has 3 maximum stack. That is freaking huge. So basically this is 36% per stack, and then you're reducing enemy movement speed by 12 for the whole 3 stack. Alright, Cataphract. I did mention that, I'm gonna cover this. 5 LE attack, 215 strength, 1720 physical critical attack. That is freaking huge, by the way. 3 movement speed, 1 extra movement speed. That means Cataphract gonna move really fast, even better, even faster. Oh my gosh. All Cataphract skills increased by 1, rush skill rate increased by 100%. Inflict 2 additional hit after channel rush for 3 seconds, dealing 24,000 skill factors for each hit. That is 48,000 skill factors. The additional hits have 20 area attack ratios. The additional hits are not considered to be channel or casting. Guys, This weapon will be the next DPS Vaivora for Dragoons or any spear classes. 24,000, 48,000 for both. This is big. You're looking to an extra 10 million damage cap line. Oh my god, I don't even know what to say anymore. This is just freaking huge, by the way. So looking forward to that. Doppler two-hand swords, 223 strength, 1,548 critical attack, as well as 1,408 slash attack and 3 extra skill for punish. Punish cooldown reduced chain to 20-second cooldown, punish chain to slash attribute, punish cast time chain to 1.5 second, punish cooldowns effect is removed, knockdown effect is removed. I'm still high by now because the moment I read the cataphract damage scaling, oh my god, that is freaking huge. Punish now deal damage in the area where you use it. Now maximum target 30. Freaking amazing. Quarter shooter crossbows, here we go. 149 strength, 495 critical rate, 1,120 physical critical attacks, 1 extra skill for quarter shooters. Why equip this? It allows quarter shooters to use a skill called cluster shot. Cluster shots fire a bolt for exploding and deal damage. Casting them up to 1 second, deal damage equal 150% of skill factor of tear down. It has 15-second cooldown and hit up to 30 target. Maximum target. Can be used during kneeling shard and can only be used while having learned level 1 or higher tear down. This is freaking OP, by the way. Extra AoE, you just gotta have this. Next we have the shield's Vaivora coordination, actually pretty good by the way, because we already have the trinket version as well as the dagger version. This one's gonna get, wait, was it dagger version or was it the sword version? I forgot which one. But anyway, so this one get the extra string intelligence by 149. Accuracy as well as critical raise. Oh my god, that critical raise is so juicy. And attack against all type. Plant, beast, double mutant insect by 1,350. That is freaking huge. Alright, we are going to the Luciferi accessory. Here are the status. Look at those. I'm kind of speechless right now because I'm reading all these status, but it's freaking OP. But yeah, look at this status. There are a lot of stat effect bonuses right here. But I'm actually kind of curious about this one. Luciferi Cancer Strike. Cons, area defense ratio. Wait, this is not the magic set. Where's the magic set? This is the physical set right here. This is the KTEST physical set. Oh, there it is. There's the magic set. This is what I'm looking for. Luciferi Trickest set. 149 intelligence, 53 con, 330 critical raise, 1,980 magic critical attack. This is the necklace, and then we're looking to the braces. It grant a buff for 30 seconds after using magic shield and God is saying basically it's the same as the Karaliene stats, but it's gonna be much more overpowered. Cast the overload and skill responding to the tributes of the skill when using daily magic critical attack during the buff. Look at this, 4,500% and then 2,250% with 2 hit. This is pretty insane. Also, Dragon Strength also gives, oh my god, the skill factor increased by 1.4. I don't even know anymore. That is freaking insane. And then we have the auto attack set. This is auto attack set? Yeah, it is. Apply ratio of your additional damage status on every 38 hit that you do. Jeez, this is freaking OP. Anyway, I'm not gonna cover every single set on this one. I do recommend checking out KTEST translation patch notes, and the link will be available in the video description below. Well, with that being said, that is pretty much for all these videos. I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you guys think of this, about all this stuff right now, because my brain is just fried right now. Well, with that being said, this is Satoshi once again, and I will see you all in the next videos. Peace out.